Welcome viewers, round 2 action here at Mid-Ohio, the wonderful track here, and round 2 action with the official V8 Supercars Championships here, brought to you by iRacing.com. I'm Brenton O'Brien, with me I have Sam Compton. Sammy, welcome to the broadcast.
Cheers Brenton, and hello viewers. Hope everyone's doing well today, and they're in for a great day of racing here. 44 laps with fuel restrictions. So we're going to see pit stops, we're going to see lots of action, and we're in for a good one, Brenton.
Yeah, 80.6 litres is the restriction on fuel. It's such a massive gap with the fuel window. You probably need to take on about 35 litres. Tyres are the issue. Looking at the track temperature, however, nice 33 degree track temperature. The wind's just a nice little 13 k's an hour, dropping actually as we speak now. So it's pretty quick conditions. The race itself's going to take a good hour, just probably a smidge over an hour. So yeah, 44 laps, it's a long haul, and from what I've seen so far, Ethan Grigalt, last year's defending champion and race 1 winner, is certainly looking very strong.
Yeah, definitely. It's got some competition here today. It's got Ian Ford biting at his heels here today on the lap times. I think Ian's been putting in a few laps and got a pretty strong field here.
Yeah, I think you'd be surprised. Ian's struggled with the setup this week. I know the team, the ERA team, put a lot of effort into the Blancpain GT3 Endurance Series, where some good success there for the Australian teams over the Saturday and the Sunday, and even for some up at 3 a.m. this morning, if you don't mind. So Sammy Sutton would be the one to watch for me. Showed a lot of pace in the 6:15 race, who actually won that quite comfortably over Ian Ford, who I think even came 4th, maybe even 5th in that race. So struggled there, but at the moment Sam has got that provisional pole. We've got still the 4 minutes to go, and he's 122.153. He's over 2/10 of a second in front of Ethan Grigalt. So Ethan, taking up his mandatory spot in second place, it would appear. We've got 20 cars in the field. Again, some good names. Jamie Eaton, I'm fairly confident might be his first time in the top split for the RaceSpotTV coverage, so it's fantastic to have him here. Kurt Stenberg, I think we might have seen him at Circuit of the Americas last year as well. Jack Boyd, a bit of a favourite now, was not here last week, but it's good to see him back. Just one thing I really have noticed, we've got the one European entry, Mario Blasic, and it's turned all of the servers gone to probably the US server, I think. So ping all of a sudden is an issue. We've got 19 Australian cars and 1 European, so we go to an American server. So that's a bit of an issue that might come up later on, but it should be a good race. It is a long race. And also Matthew Ross Munro, looking down there, the car 19, sorry. Now this guy is genuinely quick for SDRT, the Division 2 winner last season, maybe the season before.
You're up, I think.
Yeah, so you're good now, Sammy?
Yeah, mate.
So yeah, it's great to have him in the top split too, teammate of Brett Cananzi. So yeah, it's going to be a great race, and we've got 2.5 minutes to go.
Yeah, no, I might just touch on something we touched on last week just before the race gets going. I was talking about Jason Dixon was going to donate a button box for some type of prize for this season. Now, we've got some information on this, and the way we're going to work it is, during our Bathurst telecast in week 4, we're going to give you a code word. The code word is going to be shown on the broadcast, and we might put it in a couple of other places, but this is pretty much just for the people who are watching. And what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to go to Jason's, SimSpec's Facebook page, and you're going to have to like and share the page with the code word that we give you in week 4's Bathurst telecast, and then we'll announce the winner on the in the week 5 broadcast. So that's really generous by SimSpec Engineering and Jason Dixon, and we look forward to giving that beautiful button box away to someone.
Yeah, I'm super happy to hear that, and I'm looking forward to winning that. No doubt we can enter that, Sammy. I hate to think we can't. Another minute and a half to go of quality. Yeah, we'll talk a lot more about that in what is going to be a long race, and Jason, and thank you to him and to SimSpec Engineering. And just quickly, his daughter Shakira had a win in the second split in the 6:15 race, and won that convincingly by about 40 something, 50 seconds or something like that. So there's an up-and-coming name, young Shakira Dixon. Looking forward to seeing the young lass racing amongst the big boys, and at the speed she's going, that's going to be sooner before later. Ethan Grigor, in the meantime, has gone himself down to third. Ian Ford has made that promotion up into second, so there's 45 seconds left. Not sure Ford's going to get a chance to get another lap in. Be very close, but Sammy Sutton certainly has been the strength of the field himself so far. 8/100ths of a second in front of Ford.
Great to see Sammy up there on the pole, and obviously he's been putting the effort in this week, and he's got a pretty big race. We might just go through a few of the details here. We've got 44 lap race. We've got the fuel restriction set to 80.6 litres. So depending on the weather, and the weather is, it's moderately warm here, and mostly cloudy, so depending on the weather I think they're going to need around 35 litres, and the pit window will be somewhere from lap 14 to 31, so there might be a few different strategies here.
Yeah, there will be. Like we were saying before, the pit windows are going to be wide open today. We've got the actual time, the checkered flag is out, so the lap by Ford will count. Eaton's lap, I think, will count. Brenton Hobson, who had his debut race last week, his lap will count. Andy Carey, Matt Anderson, he's on a quick lap as well. Jake Maloney, the Dayco team, on a bit of a high at the moment. Got a feeling that I know that they won the AEC Spa 24-hour race over the weekend in their HPD, so congratulations to them for what was a great result.
Yeah, it's been a busy weekend for sim races all over, that's for sure. So it's going to be a busy season with all the road wire and the Bathurst 1000 with OSR coming up, and yeah, lots of seat time for lots of guys. I think there's going to be some angry wives getting around.
Oh, no more than usual, Sammy, in some cases. Trust me on that one.
I hear you, buddy. I hear you. Shout out to my wife.
Yeah, better than shouting at, I guess. But actually, if there's anyone from the OSR series who's listening, us, by all means, if you want to jump in during the commentary and promote next week's exciting Bathurst 1000 the whole weekend from Wednesday night. I think pre-qual starts Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday they have qualifying, and also the single lap shootout, and then obviously the main race on Sunday. Qualifying has come to a conclusion. Sammy, go through the bid for us, please.
Yeah, that's right. We got Sammy Sutton on the pole with a 122.15, and look how close that is, a 0.23 back to Ian Ford. Another 300ths to Ethan Grigor, and look at that, the old fella, Marty Carroll, P4. Only 3.5 tenths off the pace. And we got Matthew Ross Munro, Kane Kugamiya, Josh Rogers, Mickey Cracknell, Jake Maloney, and Anthony Mansarella rounding out the top 10.
Yeah, I'm assuming it must be a fairly flat track, if not most of it's downhill, for Marty to be up there in fourth position. I can't see him pushing that wheelchair too hard, but that's his best grid position that I can remember for a long, long time. And as I said, watch out for Matthew Ross Munro, very quick and consistent, and a good finisher and a good race as well. Josh Rogers has had some recent luck. Mick Cracknell, good to see him up and about. Kurt Stenberg also good to see him getting some V8 Supercar time as well. And Matty Stratford there with no time at the end in the car 17, just probably didn't have that time. I still haven't got confirmation as to whether he's left for Motorsports. Asked this week, didn't get an answer, but yeah, hopefully it'll be a long race for him, and hopefully it'll be a good race for him.
Yeah, that's right, everyone's gridding up now, and not a huge field here today, but it looks like a real solid field of guys. And there's 1 second from P1 to P12 there, so this is going to be real tight. Yeah,
it is, but it's not the biggest field. It's still 20 cars. It's not the smallest field either. Minimum of 15, so 20 is a happy number. But fuel saving, it's not really going to be that important. So, really, to be honest with you, I think the main battle. I know 40 has got himself in second on the grid, 3/100ths up on Ethan Grigor. But to me, the race is going to be between Sammy Sutton and Ethan Grigor, just like it was at Montreal last season. So the last cars, I think Marty Carroll last on the grid as the engines build. So Revs building away. And it was a really good start by Ian Ford there on the outside. He probably going to be hung out to dry a little bit there. Sammy Sutton's got himself a good job there. And also, some team manners there, shall we say, between Ethan Grigalt and team leader Marty Carroll. But it looks like a clean start. Probably spoke a bit early. Matt Anderson and Greg Sharp back there. Anderson has just lost the front end and cut right across Greg Sharp. Totally a racing incident. But as they enter turn 2, the keyhole in lap 1, Ian Ford's got himself in a really strong position and will be in the draft. Pretty easy track to defend on here.
Yeah, Sammy Sutton with a nice defending move there. Let's see what happens here. And 2 wide behind him as well. They get really close. These guys, like you touched on. Oh no, who is that? Big brake lock up. Oh, they're going to have to be careful re-entering back there as well. That didn't look too good.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what happened last week, wasn't it? And Kane Myers has been involved in that. I'm trying to think, Josh Rogers as well. Matt Anderson, we heard about the dramas he had, but we've also got that lead change. Ian Ford did make that move stick on turns 4, exiting 5. So new race leader Ian Ford. From here, he's going to have to be very, very careful treading the water as they exit the last turn, turn 13, across the strike, end of lap 1.
Yeah, interesting first lap there. 40 just kept his head and has pulled out a little bit of a lead, little gap back from Sammy Sutton to Ethan. Pretty tricky little track going up through the S's in the back and through the carousel. I'm not sure how much grip they've got out there tonight, but yeah, real tough track and easy to make a mistake here. So just got to keep your eyes forward and hope for the best.
Yeah, that's right. We've got good little battles already developing here. We've got the 2 ERA Maverick welding cars, Mansarella and Carey, trying to hold off Mario Vlasic, charging hard. Kane Cook and Meyer would be recovering from what was a disappointing start for him. Started 6th on the grid, down to 14th at the moment.
Yeah, that's right. Jack G. Boyd's had a pretty good start too, starting in 11th. He's now up into 7th position. Really good first lap by Jack.
Yeah, we know that Jack can do a solid job. We've seen at Phillip Island was able to hold off the old man Marty Carroll pretty much the entire race there. Just held his line, watched his braking points, was sure of his exit. So he's not an easy guy to pass. Very clean driver, we know that too. So if he gets a good start, he will generally hold that. And the thing is here is that I don't think Fordy's going to have the outright pace this week, which is unfortunate. Sutton makes a big mistake on the exit there of turn 13. Able to hold on to that and gives Ford a bit of a breathing space here between himself and Sutton, with champion Ethan Grigalt in 3rd place. Marty just dropping off a little bit there at 23.1, but certainly not building a train by all means.
Ethan's missed his braking marker there. He's locked a wheel and he's run really, really wide there. And come on, Marty, don't worry about Team Motorsport. He's racing.
Yeah, that was a bit of finger painting there, wasn't it? That was very obvious what happened there.
Yeah, if you ask me, it's too early in the season for that. I think Marty Carroll should be fighting for every position he can get.
Yeah, it's a long race though, and you don't want to endanger yourself and the other car as well. It looks like we might have some problems with Greg Sharp. Jason Quire has gone wide there on the exit of turn 4, then chopped again in front of Sharp, so some problems there. And also with Matty Stratford recovering very well from last on the grid's already got himself up into, I think it'd be higher than 18th right now. I'm thinking it was 16th, no 17th for him, so he just made that 1 spot game. And Killian Myers seems to be really struggling in front of this pack here, 25.3. He has got some damage to the front right, we can see that. Just thinking maybe that's coming with some steering damage, because he's really dropped off. Josh Rogers also involved in an early incident. Andy Carey and Anthony Mansarella have just driven away from these guys.
Yeah, and speaking of driving away, that's what Fordy's doing right now. He's nearly got a second back to Sammy and nearly 2.5 seconds back to Ethan at the line there. So, yeah, he's looking really strong.
Yeah, and look what that little delay for Marty Carroll's done on the keyhole turn 2 there. Just by, he's let his teammate back in. It's not the worst thing in the world, let's be honest. But what he has done is Matthew Ross Monroe is right into the action here now. he's got himself where he started in 5th position. That SDRT Ford Falcon looking an absolute treat. And this is a team that's getting stronger and stronger, and no doubt they'll be looking forward to a strong performance at the Bathurst 1000 next week.
Yeah, definitely. I'll tell you where we've got a real battle here. It's Mick Cracknell, Kurt Stenberg, and is it Jack in front of Mick there? You might just go and have a look here, keep an eye on, see if Kurt can get past Mick. Kurt seems to have a bit of speed here.
Yeah, it is Jack Boyd here, and I'm just thinking at his cars whether he's joined a team. Yeah, I think he has. He's got the Simworks livery on, so the ANZ livery team of Jared Filsell as well. So, if that's what it is, I'm thinking he's in that team, and good job by ANZ for picking him up. Congratulations. Jack's a fine driver and does a great job. Certainly probably underrated, if anything, but here he is, top split, main strength of field on Monday night in 7th place.
Yeah, definitely. He's got that purple Simpit SDC car of Mick Cracknell right behind him. Mick's actually been in hospital for a few days this week with a few dramas with his teeth and infections, so pretty impressed to see him out there at the moment.
Well, that's a step up on Marty Carroll. At least Mick still got his own teeth, so it's a positive there. Mario Vlasic has gone off, unfortunately. I've missed that, but I think we lost him. No, he's actually in the pits now. So just have to have a look as to what's happened to Mario then. Yeah, he's, gee whiz. We'll just have a look. It's gone back further than turn 2, but that car looks like it's a bit of a mess. Yeah, I think he's popped his engine now on the entry to the keyhole. We've lost Sammy Compton from our comms box for a while. I'm not real keen on doing this for an hour by myself, Sammy, but yep, Sammy's had a disconnect, and I think that Mario has popped his engine there, so that puts paid to his race. He won't be coming back from that, so that really does open up the back midfield at the moment. So struggles there for Mario, and yeah, it's an unusual place where it's popped to. He's changed from 6th to 5th to 4th probably too quick, so that ends his day. So back up the front there, and Ethan Grigalt certainly hasn't made any too pressing the ground here. 24 flat last lap for him, which is actually again down, so you'd have to think that maybe he's made a mistake. Sure he has. So just having a look at his lap now. Yeah, better lap last time by Greg Gold, 22.6, so starting to recover now, but still at 1/10 of a second down on Ian Ford, so what'll be lap 6 of what is still a long race, and still a long way to go. Still don't have Sammy Compton with us. What we do have though, oh no, we're not going to get Jeremiah Morton up. He's probably racing at the moment in the comms booth. We'll let that go. We've got a great little battle happening here in the meantime for 16th position. We've got who we got here? Oh, look at this. We've got Matty Anderson in the very damaged BP Ultimate car. Greg Sharp also received damage. That was from that first corner incident with Matt Anderson. Matt just got on the power too soon and cut across Sharp. So turning in there. Jamie Eaton welcoming him to the series is during a strong race here in 19th place. And Kane Kumar, like I said, surprised with his pace, but I'm just going to, I think, safely assume that as Kane comes into the pits now, lap 6, I'm thinking that this is going to be a longer stop than usual. It's not the real Kane Kugamaya we're seeing tonight. He's certainly a lot quicker than this, and that damage at the front there as he motors in slowly will prove testament that his car's off, and I would imagine it's his steering. So I think we're slowly getting Sammy Compton back on board. Slowly coming back to us. Obviously hasn't paid his internet connection over there in Norway, but up at the lead though. Really surprised that Ian Ford's been able to maintain this lead over Sammy Sutton. Sutton with a 22.8's dropped another 10th, but what's going to happen here is that Ethan Grigalt at 22.6 last lap making gains, and with lap 7 now, pit window will be opening shortly. I don't think these guys will be too keen to want to pit just yet. It's a long haul from here with the one set of tyres, so they'll just keep staying in formation here at the moment, put a bit of pressure on as we go, and it's been, like I said, a busy time for a lot of the drivers over this weekend, and the JFF AEC, the Australian Endurance Championship, had their Spa 24-hour race over Saturday night, all of Sunday into Sunday night, and fairly strong field, 26 cars I think it was. The debut of the new Corvette looked like it was a bit of a success, and like I said, a strong result there for the Dayco team. I don't really know the names of the drivers. I think Kurt Stenberg may have been one of them.
Yeah, well, that's right.
We'll help Sammy there with his commentary. He sounds like he's just had too much helium, poor old Sammy. Try that again there, Sam.
Yeah, we've got a few technical issues here. Oh, sorry about that. My clownfish voice automatically comes on when I come back into TeamSpeak, and I don't know what happened. I just had a complete computer freeze. So, yeah, hopefully I didn't miss too much.
Yeah, just some formation flying by the first three. These three have got themselves. Ethan certainly hasn't made a move on these guys, and it does surprise me that there's not more pressure on. But 1.3 from Ford to Sutton, 2.2 from from Ford back to Ethan Grigor and the old fella Martin Carroll. Probably starting to have that bit of a queue behind him in fourth place, and we'll go to that battle there with Carroll, Ross Munro and good Jake Maloney. So this is where the battle is now for fourth, fifth and sixth.
Yeah, that's right. And Hugo, our awesome director, we might go on board here with Jake Maloney and just take a breath and try and get a few of these technical issues sorted out and see what the view's like from Jake's cockpit. You can really see as you're coming into turn one there, you got to really watch that curb. It can really throw the balance of the car off.
Yeah, and with the springs of the V8, it's a pretty clean lap there. Ooh, it's gone too deep into turn two, the keyhole there, and look at all the momentum he's lost. He's really dropped off there. But I'm super impressed with Matthew Ross Munro. Sorry. Like I said, this guy has just developed and with Brett Cananzi with the SDRT team, Shane Raynor, I think, is their team management. It's a team that is getting stronger and stronger, and it's great to see, you know, the young and up and coming drivers. Well, I don't know how old he is, but the new and up and coming drivers. How about we say it that way? They're getting in their lap times and getting some promotion, not just for themselves but for the team, and that's what it's all about. Spreading it out there and getting some more teams involved. As probably people would see, there's a lot less ERA cars and STC cars this season by choice, and it's, you know, opening the doors up for a lot of other cars.
Yeah, it definitely is, and I raced a fair bit with Matt Ross Munro in the lower splits because that's pretty much where I live, and really good to see him up here in the top split, and his I rating just keeps climbing with his good finishes, and as you see here, he's driving really solid. And nice clean laps, putting a lot of pressure on Mick Cracknell. Marty Carroll, sorry.
How you going, right, mate? You're good. But yeah, he's putting a lot of pressure on Marty Carroll, and I would think that as time goes on, he's going to finally get this job done on Marty Carroll. I'm not sure about your STC boys, whether they've had much time to put some lap times in for some setups. I know, as I was alluding to earlier, the iRacing Blancpain GT3 Endurance Championship took up over the weekend at Monza, and wow, I think, excuse me if I'm a little bit wrong here, I think we had 340 teams enter in the GT3 class, and the top 40 go through next year, so the 6 qualifying races. The top 40 go through next year with their professional licenses to race, I think, for up to 30 grand in prize money. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I think that's pretty close. And some really strong Aussie results. Direct Clutch boys did a fantastic job on the early Sunday morning race, the 5 a.m. race. I think they came 7th in their race, and that's put them 10th overall. The TTL guys, a strong result on the Saturday night 7 o'clock race, has got them to 11th overall. Might be a bit there. ERA boys put in a strong effort on the Sunday race, got them to 16th, and TTR Red, I think it is, has got them to top 20, or maybe 24th, a little bit outside the top 20, but fantastic if it keeps that way up. It'll be absolutely awesome to see 4 Australian teams in that Pro Series next year.
Yeah, it was huge actually, and I know the STC boys, they were doing the 24-hour event for the AEC, and also we had a team in the Blancpain, and poor old Marty Carroll was switching from one to another, and I don't think many of them got much sleep. I know Ethan didn't get much sleep. He opened up the stint at the AEC, and then he went out for a bit of a party with a good friend of his MD, and came home and had to do a few more stints, and actually did his fastest laps when he got back from the club. So yeah, I think some of these boys haven't had much lap time, many laps in the V8 this week.
No, we just saw a move with Jack Boyd overtaking Hobson as well. That's to for position 11th and 12th. So Boyd's obviously made a mistake somewhere to be dropped back there. He was in a higher spot than that. Didn't see what happened to him, but certainly recovering well now.
Yeah, he's not looking real stable though. Definitely overdriving it. What are we on here? Lap 12. So
Lap 12,
the
mate.
window will be opening up ish in the next 3 or 4 laps. 2 to 4 laps, so people might start to make a strategy call.
Yeah, but if you're going to be running out of tyres by lap 12, lap 13, I can't see too much changing. I know it goes to dynamic track, and there certainly has been some marvels. I don't think there's any appearing yet, mind you, but if you're going to run out of tyres at lap 12, lap 13, I don't know how you're going to save tyres for 31 laps after that.
Yeah, it's not always about tyres though, Brenton. You might be stuck behind someone you can't get past who's slowing you down, and as I am stuck behind you quite regularly. And
I was going to say that doesn't normally happen to me. I'm not normally the one that's stuck behind someone.
You just got to make these calls and try and get a bit of clean air and put a few good laps in.
Talk about putting a few good laps in. Ethan Griggold, our series champion, has just done that over the last few laps, 22.7. So they've made that 3/10 gain now. This is where the call's going to be. As you said, the pit window opening very shortly, probably another 1-2 laps, Sammy, I would imagine. So what does Ethan Griggold do here? Does he just stay calm, stay patient? There's a long way to go. I'm thinking probably that's what he will be doing. But he's definitely the quickest of the leading 3 at the moment. But what Ian Ford wants to do is he wants Sammy Sutton to stay out there. He doesn't want him to pit. And Ford's putting in some really... the last lap certainly wasn't that strong. Dropped 0.3 of a second. But I can't see Ford pulling any chance of him having a pit stop soon whilst he's still out there in front. Won't need to. He's setting his own pace.
Yeah, well, that's right. Ethan's just going to have to decide whether he thinks he can get by Sammy Sutton cleanly here and not take too long to do it. He's looking really solid, but so is Sam. Just driving really clean lap times, looking after his tyres, and see a little wiggle there by Ethan under brakes.
And just also on the side, exciting news for RaceSpotTV's coverage. We'll be going onto Twitch. I know nothing about computers, I know nothing about it all, but apparently that's quite exciting. And the broadcast will be going over to Germany. I don't think they receive these for reasons I have no idea about. No doubt someone will type something to me and explain more about it, but this will be live on Twitch as of next week.
Yeah, well, that's right. The Germans, there's actually a law in Germany that does not allow any live YouTube streaming. So iRacing Live, which we will be live for that next week, and it'll also be on the iRacing Twitch. So our friends in Germany can, I know they're big fans of the V8 Supercar road racing, and yeah, I think we'll be doubling our viewers, I think, quite easily.
Yeah, that's great, and it's the positive to see. Jake Maloney and Mick Cracknell battling here for 6th, 7th and 8th, or 7th and 8th now. Kurt Stenberg has got through there to gain those positions.
Sorry
Maloney's
to
dropped the
interrupt
spot.
you, Brent, but we have Ethan Griggolt really pushing hard to get past Sammy Sutton. Sammy's having to drive very defensively. See if Ethan can make a dive up here.
Yeah, well, this is where Ford got the job done here. This is turn 4. And going through turn 5, China. This is the China Beach section here, mate, if you were asking me. So this is turns 4, 5, 6. Thank you very much. Yeah, good TV show back in the 80s as well. And, mate, look up China Beach, Google it, Dana Delaney, gorgeous, thanks for coming.
You might have to stop calling Marty Carroll the old fellow, I think. Look at Ethan all over him, and he knows, he can see Ian stretching out the lead here. He knows he's got to get past Sammy here. Or he's got, here he goes. Ooh. Ethan Griggolt into pit. Smart move, getting out of that traffic. Oh, he nearly spins it. He might have been going a bit quick there.
No, I don't know. I don't know, because on that pit entry, you find yourself falling into a trap because it is so slippery, that pit entry, that by the time you get to the cones, you're actually normally about 10-15 k's an hour under the speed limit. Then you push your pit limit expecting the drop, but you think, hang on, I've got to go faster. So, gee whiz, it must have been tight though.
Yeah, we're going to find out here. He had a huge slide. Good save.
Well, we'll soon see, and actually you might still be on the STC channel there. It may be interesting to see if you know something. Unless to see if he comes out in traffic.
Yeah, he does.
He's going to. And the tyres are going to be freezing cold too. So he's come out behind Andy Carey. But let's just see now what the reaction is from Sutton and Ford. If I was on their radio right now, I'd be saying, don't you dare pit right now. Let's just see what he can do to Andy Carey.
Yeah, we're going to just see if the boys let him go or whether they hold him up. They don't have to let him go, that's for sure. Well, sometimes it's in your best interest, though.
Yeah, well, let's just remember that Andy Carey is a teammate of Ian Ford.
Oh, there he is.
And has probably done the right thing by Ethan Griggolt there. And we've got an off in front of them. Jason Quire has gone off.
Jason Quire.
I prefer
Quire. I think. For that.
I think we'll stick with Quire. but the question is, and actually Sammy, we might actually get you to duck off there and see, was Ethan Griggolt under the speed limit there for the pit entry?
Yeah, I'll duck down to pit lane and see what I can find out.
And Sammy Sutton has done that reaction. He's pitting. So this is the guy who was in pole position here, taking on fuel now. We'll certainly know if the and also Matthew Ross Munro pitting as well. Sutton leaving the pits now. Will come out comfortably ahead of Ethan Griggolt. So that strategy by Griggolt hasn't worked at all. The next step is, does Ian Ford pit? I can't see any benefit at the moment in pitting. So it's really advantage Sammy Sutton there over Ethan Griggolt. And let's not forget that Ethan was right behind Sammy Sutton on that pit entry. So certainly that drop of positions there, or drop of time, and that's made a big difference with just being stuck behind that Maverick car of Andy Carey. Just for that quarter of a lap's made a difference, and also that mistake in the pit lane. And he might have entered the pit lane too fast, but he might have also deliberately tried to go well under that speed limit to try and neg that black flag just in case it was there.
No speeding penalty there for Ethan Griggolt. He's good to go.
Yeah, well, that's good for the race, no doubt. But it's not the normal Ethan Griggolt, is it? And I would imagine, and the very, very, very nice Jack Boyd is getting out of the way of these guys. Was he got a problem? I'm not sure whether Jack's got an issue there, or he's absolutely let the other two cars just fly by, and there's certainly no blue flags waving there, and that's really put him. He's got right out and got out of the way, and Jack's last lap of 27.2 reflects that, and what that's done is put him back into the claws of Carey and Hobson and Stratford in the Plus Fitness Commodore. So like I said, still don't have confirmation, although it certainly looks fairly obvious that Matty Stratford has left for Motorsports, and it looks like he has gone to I think it's the Ozgamers team, and it's a great looking livery, that one. So it's certainly a plus, if you mind the pun, for the Ozgamers team.
Yeah, that's right. And it looks really good, and maybe we'll have to get Matty in one day and he can tell us the story behind all that and try and get it all sorted out.
Yeah, Matthew Mash, talk about Matty, and Matty Ross Munro's had his pit stops well, and he's come out in clean traffic. There's nothing around him, so he can really make the most of this and see how the undercut's going to work. Let's not forget, he was just behind Marty Carroll, and Marty hasn't pitted yet. Marty, we know, generally tries to hang on longer and longer and longer, gets that fuel out of the car before he shoves the new tyres on. So be interested to see if that undercut works.
Yeah, that's right. I'd be guessing Marty will stay out as long as he can, especially with the clear track that he's got right now. So he'll just keep digging.
Yep, and we've got 2 cars coming in. Josh Rogers, he's disappointed with how he's gone today. He's shown a lot of pace of late, but his car's got a bit of damage again, probably from the lap 1 incident.
Yes.
And also Mick Cracknell in the pits, and he was coming third at the time. So Mick's just taking on fuel and tyres. Shouldn't be that long a stop, and Mick is away, so a pretty clean stop there for Mick Cracknell. Is that Sammy Sutton going through? No, it's Jake Maloney going through. So Cracknell comes out just in front of Jamie Eaton, or Jamie's going to wind around here, no dramas at all. That redback racing car is looking mint. So Eaton nice. Through, and what Mick doesn't want here is to spend any more time than he needs to behind Eaton. Jamie, a very clean driver, we know, from plenty of experience, and straight away has made that call to Mick to let him through. And oh gee, it's I'd rather see the boys racing, I must admit. I know why they do it.
We're going to have a chat to these boys and stop being so gentlemanly. And we got Ian Ford in the pit. Let's stick with Ian here. Oi, Fordy got some damage on the right front.
Oh, and he's overshot the pits too. So yeah, some dramas there for Ford, and that's not what he wants.
He has clipped the inside wall just before the carousel. So maybe that's forced him to come to pit lane. It'll be interesting. Oh no, look, on my screen it's just miraculously be repaired. He's going to come out right in front of Sammy Sutton here. Sammy's got a big run. Fordy's going to have cold tyres.
Yeah, well,
we've got a battle for the...
Ford's pit stop here at lap 20, so his tyres are going to be that much newer than the other two, but at the moment they're that much colder, and don't be surprised if Sammy can get a run here.
Yeah, we got a battle on for the win here with 3 really quick guys here tonight. It's going to be really good.
And right now, if there's a passing move by Sammy Sutton, it's all because Ian overshot the pit. He's got cold tyres hanging on. Jeez, he was deep under brakes. That car looked awfully nervous there.
Yeah, it's really dragged Ethan right up to the back of these guys, which is a really big advantage for him. Sammy knows that if he wants to get past Ian, he has to do it while his tyres are cold, because they're going to come up to temperature pretty quick around here.
So Ford's tyres are 3 laps newer than Sutton's, 4 laps newer than Greg Galt's. Right at this very point in time, that means pretty much nothing as Ford misses the apex there, and that's through turn 11 as they go turn 12 here, the carousel section, and on the exit of turn 13. Have a look at this. We've got positions 1, 2 and 3. You couldn't throw a blanket over them. It's gone from a fairly comfortable position to 0.6 of a second, 0.6 of a second between these 3. Tell you what, we're not going to go without saying is that Marty Carroll hasn't pitted, but he has himself the race lead.
Yeah, he's out in front earning a few points for leading a lap, so good for Marty. He'll know quite well what's going on behind him here. It might work out pretty well for Marty as well, these guys battling it out, but they're still running really super quick times.
Yeah, they are running super quick times, but Marty's got a clear track, doesn't have to give way to anyone there. But, this is going to be such a great little race we've got here with 1, 2, 3, and we'll stay with this. I guess the guy who's going to be, it's going to sound a bit silly, is the happiest is Ethan Grigalt, because, he's made a mistake. He was over 2 seconds behind these guys at some stage, made a mistake on pit entry, and yet here he still is. He's 6/10 off of the virtual race lead.
Yeah, and he doesn't really have to do anything here. He just has to sit back, and if Sammy Sutton makes a move on Ian Ford, he'll probably be able to just follow Sammy through.
Well, what Ford needs to do with these tyres now, they'll be up to temperature now, and generally you'll find lap 2 or 3 after the pit stop is when your fastest lap is. Ford needs to put some immediate heat on, because if Sammy Sutton leaves that door open for Ethan Grigalt, he'll take it, he'll go through that gap, and he'll be the one challenging Ford for the lead.
Yeah, and you can see Ian's done exactly that. He has stretched it out just a car length or two, and Yeah, he's taking advantage of these tyres. Look at Ethan getting all in Sammy's mirrors, just trying to force a mistake out of him. Pretty smart driving there by Grid Gulp.
So we've got the Evolution Racing Australia car, Daco Engineering car in second, and the Simpit STC Motorsports car here. And these guys are putting on a great show, lap 22 at the moment. So we're actually at the halfway stage of this race. We've got a long way to go.
We do, and I know we've already done it, but I've just been having a look from the view from, oh, look at this, Ethan up the inside. He's not going to make that stick, is he? No. So he's going to have the preferred line.
I'll tell you what, though, he might have shown his cards early there, because there is a sneaky little opportunity there if the car gets a bit nonchalant, a bit blasé about taking those turns and worrying about the next exit, that sometimes you can stick your nose in there and create a bit of havoc. But what that's done, it's just shown the keenness and the anxiety that might be coming across Ethan Griggault now, because Ian Ford, like you said, I know it's only a car length, but soon that will be 2, soon that will be 3, and that elastic will stretch and stretch and stretch, and it will finally break. But at the moment, it's just such a close race, and these guys are all in very much control of where they are.
Yeah, that's right. And I think we should go on board with Ethan for 2 laps from his cockpit, no commentary, listen to the engines, and just watch this battle from his point of view. As you can see from the onboard footage, Ethan is just looking at every opportunity just to get out in Sammy Sutton's mirrors. And he knows he has to get past Sammy here in the next few laps so he can get up and put the pressure on Ian Ford. And, you know, Brenton, Ethan and Ian have had some great battles, but they've also had some battles where it's taken a good 10, 12, 15 laps for Ethan to be able to get past Ian Ford.
Yeah, but Sammy hasn't disappeared, that's for sure. He's still right with Ian, and I've got to admit, I'm not overly surprised by that. After the 6:15 race, Sammy was dominant in that race, and certainly gave Ian a bit of a touch-up there. So not surprised at all, and certainly with our series champion and new series leader, Ethan Griggault, we know he's always going to be there or thereabouts. He's ultimately generally the quicker car out there.
Yeah, well, definitely. We've got a 3-way battle this week. It's really good to watch. Just have a look, give you a little roundup of what's happening outside the top 3. We've got Jack G. Boyd started in P11. He's up in 4th position. Marty Carroll's in 5th, so I'm presuming Marty is pitted now. We've got Matt Ross Munro in 6th. Jake Maloney's 7th.
Hang on, back up to the lead, and Ethan's just tagged the back of Sammy Sutton into the keyhole there. It's all happening as Jack Boyd comes in the pit, so that position was not the right position for Jack Boyd. He's just pitted, but Ethan Griggault very anxious to get through, and certainly going to be making a big move here.
Yeah, he's going to have to keep his head though. He doesn't want to throw the race away, that's for sure. But yeah, he is really eager to get past Sammy Sutton.
Yeah, they just got to remember that it's lap 25 of a 44-lap race, so there's still plenty of time to go here.
Plenty of time. Definitely.
It only takes 1 lap to pass Sutton, and it might only take 1 more lap to pass Ford. He's certainly got the speed. But what he's doing by sitting back there, his tyres might be getting hotter and hotter and wearing more and more.
Yeah, and just watching the race, you wouldn't think there's 20 laps to go. Maybe we should let them know.
Look, I might give a bit of a shout out again to Marty Carroll. I know he's a bit off at the moment, but his strategy, and as we called it, it might work by staying out longer. Well, he has made that strategy work. He's got newer tyres than Matty Ross.
Ethan, huge power slide around turn one. He's lost a good 5 car lengths there, and that's going to really be heating up his tyres. Sorry to interrupt you, but I think we've all had enough about Marty Carroll lately.
Well, what we have not heard about is how good that drive out of that corner was of Sam Sutton, and he's going to be in a strong position to attack here.
Yeah, Ian Ford just runs a beautiful line though.
Yeah, he does, but Sammy's, if he can hold the outside here, he'll have the inside line of the next turn. Doesn't make that happen, but again, showing his hand early as to where there's a passing move.
No.
And what this is doing with the two leaders battling here, Ethan Grigalt, who did make that mistake on the exit of turn one, is just going to casually drive up to these two again. Sammy Sutton's getting a bit twitchy as well, so lap 26 of 44, and these guys are wanting to make things happen right now.
Yeah, it's on, that's for sure. I guess Sammy Sutton's thinking if he can get past Ian, he might be able to get away from Ethan. But Ian's not going to give this up easy, that's for sure. We know Ian's a great driver, and he won't be doing any blocking. He'll just run a good defensive, honest line, and yeah, it's going to be hard to get past him.
Yeah, it will be, but you can be sure that these three guys, once they do this race, are going to be straight into Bathurst mode for this weekend's race. I know there's servers up already, and I'll guarantee you they'll be hooking straight into that. But in the meantime, lap 27 of 44 now, and this race is not gone anywhere, these three. Oh, Ford very deep under brakes. That car's looking really nervous.
You know, these guys, look at that, they're 18 seconds back to P4, so it's a 3-car race right now.
And again, Ford's going to have to go on the defensive here as they enter China Beach area, turn 4. And Sammy Sutton is setting this up beautifully. And it's just a matter of whether... Here it goes again.
Ian's just got a great drive out of there, and he just doesn't let Sammy get inside him.
Yeah, I can just see what's going to happen as that turn 6 as they go through turns 8 and 9 now. So you can just see what's going to happen with Sammy, but Ian's just draw that little car length out here. But it's not taking long for Sammy and Ethan to get back into them.
No, maybe Sammy just has to realise, okay, I'll spend a lap or two just to cool my tyres off a little bit. But Ethan's not going to give him a chance by the looks of that.
No, he's not going to be able to take too much off here, and looking really anxious. And you know what? I don't think there'll be 3 bigger smiles than these guys here, because Ethan, we know, has been seen to run away with the odd race or 10, and I know 40 has had his consistent wins as well, especially in the Wednesday night OSR race. Sorry about that. That was my tea. But yeah, these guys, 3 guys, will be having an absolute hoot doing this.
Oh, definitely, and it's great. I don't want to see Ethan drive away every week, and I don't want to see just Ethan and Ian battling it out. So it's great to have Sammy Sutton here.
Yeah, it's good, and it's great to have the 3 teams at Dayco car looking mint as usual, and he's already right back onto Ian Ford. Right here is where I reckon Sammy's going to stick his nose in, get the old car left, car right, and that's going to stir a few things up. I reckon Sammy's got the potential to stuff his nose up there. Oh, Ford's gone.
Ford's off. Had a big slide.
And that's opened the door now for Ethan Grigalt as well.
He's had a pretty good recovery though, old Fordy. And look at Sammy, he's all out of shape too. These guys are just abusing their tyres, I think.
Whoa, they've tagged. A bit of a bump and run here for Ethan.
Look at this.
And watch, he's going to have such a good drive.
Oh, sideways. And this American service not helping tonight either, Brent.
No,
this is a horrible decision made by, I shouldn't talk about it,
by
one of our sponsors. Yeah, but I think they're going to have to review this one, mate.
Yeah, all for the sake of Mario Vlasic Racing. The rest of them have to go onto American server, and way too deep there by Sam. Way too deep. And Ethan Grigalt, that's just pressure. That's just a collapse in pressure for Sammy Sutton, unfortunately, there. And Ethan Grigol has gone from third to first in less than a lap.
Sammy just needs to take a deep breath here, and he's still got plenty of time. He's still got 14 laps. And look, Ian Ford's not out of the picture either, mate. Ian had a great recovery considering he went so wide. So if Fordy can cool his rears off after that big power slide, and you can already see him pulling up to the back of Sam Sutton. So we're going to have a three-way battle here again before this race is finished.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty confident that that there's going to be a bit of a gap by Ethan here. But also, in the meantime, missing a great little battle between Matty Stratford and Andy Carey. This is a race for 13th and 14th. We'll take our eyes off the lead just for a little bit and have a look at these guys. These guys have been racing hard at it a long while now, and we said Matty Stratford recovering from not having a qualifying time, so starting 20th on the grid, has got himself up into 13th place now. Just made that pass on Andy Carey.
Yeah, it's hard to give everyone some airtime when you've got such an intense battle for the lead up there, but yeah, Matty Stratford, great job. The car looks pretty clean, starting at the rear, and I'm not sure what happened in his qualifying, but he's definitely recovered reasonably.
Yeah, and back up to the front now with Ethan Grigol. He's already taken that little bit of a lead out of Sammy Sutton. Last up of a 22.8, 23.5 and a 23.1 for 40. Forget those times, they were with slight mistakes, but Ethan Grigol is just a big presence, isn't he? And Sammy, just break a little bit too deep and made that opportunity. But Sammy was probably pushing hard to create a gap. Didn't happen that way. I still think Sammy's got a fair bit of pace around him.
Yeah, he's not giving up, mate.
And we have to remember that Ethan's tyres are older than Sammy's, and Sammy's tyres are older than Ian's, but I don't think that Ian's led the majority of the race. I don't think Ian's going to be having the raw pace throughout the rest of the race to seriously challenge.
No, but if Sammy does get up to Ethan and these guys start battling for a couple of laps, that'll give Ian the chance to pull back up to him. And Sammy's not giving up. Sammy's got pace. Ethan is not pulling away from him. That Daco car will not give up to the end, I don't think.
So it's really the first lap in clean air for our leader at Ethan Grigol, 22.898. Certainly a pretty quick lap, but actually Sammy Sutton's made that little gain there, and just behind them Ford has dropped off just that 10th of a second, but there's still some racing to be had here. Disappointed obviously that it's just spread out that little bit more, but lap 31 we've still got the 14 laps to go, and there's still a lot of racing here.
Definitely is. And just looking back through the field, we've got a few little battles going on. Mick Cracknell and Jack Maloney. It's a pretty good battle going on back here, actually. Maloney, Cracknell. Who else? Kurt Stenberg's in there.
Yeah, well, Stenberg's just making little gains on Cracknell and on Maloney, but Cracknell recovering, and tell you what, he's in a good position here. He'll certainly be in the draft of Maloney. That Daco car's pretty good under brakes, isn't it? And Maloney doing a good job there in the car 7, so it's a battle that goes on. And these guys have actually pegged back Matthew Ross Munro, and wouldn't be surprised if he comes into the battle a little bit. And the old fellow Marty Carroll has done an absolute dire job there. Fantastic work in remaining in 4th position. Yeah,
that's right. And I think we've got a great little battle. Mick Cracknell's the meat and the Daco sandwich right now, and like you said, I think in about 4 laps time this is going to be a 4-way battle here.
And of the last lap of the top 3, Ford was the fastest, Sutton the second fastest, and Grigol was the third fastest. So little gains made there by the trailing 2. Matt Anderson will be a lap down shortly, especially after his first turn, lap 1 issues. He's got some damage there. Mario Vlasic is a couple of days behind, and Jamie Eaton will be the 3 cars that these guys come up to lap shortly.
Yeah, and Mick Cracknell's just, I think he might have the pace here on Maloney, but as is proven, this is a pretty tough place to get a pass done. You really got to set it up 2 or 3 corners before.
Yeah, you do, and the drive out of that corner, turn 2, the keyhole is so important, and really it is the biggest opportunity to make that pass, isn't it? And we've seen that a couple of times Ford for the lead, and also when someone, I can't remember, made that mistake before, so just had some background noise. Yeah, it's certainly the great place to make that opportunity to pass.
Yeah, definitely. It's also it's also a pretty easy place to defend it as well, as we've seen. People get a big run and they just can't get it done. Mick Cracknell all over Maloney, and you can see Stenberg just inching his way closer to this battle, and I think pretty sure these boys are catching Matt Munro as well, inch by inch.
Yeah, they have gained a tenth, even though they're battling away, Maloney and Cracknell here. And Cracknell just seems so much faster. I'm just going to have a look. Cracknell pitted lap 19.
Sideways.
Ooh.
Mick just lifts a little bit, gives him a chance there. That really brought Stenberg into it.
Yeah, so the two Dayco cars have got the sandwich over the Simpit card here. But it is certainly a great little battle we've got. Here's another cone ghost flying. Hate to be the guy replacing that every single lap.
Yeah, well, that's right. I know a few drivers in here. It's probably not... No, we won't mention any cones, but there's been cones going everywhere.
Well, so many things to be said there. Yeah, but Cracknell again. I think he is faster, and I think once he makes that move on Maloney, he's going to have to be very definite about no pussyfooting around here. He's going to have to sink that in there, because I think with Cracknell, there's not just one position to be made here. I think there is two, because these guys are still making gains on Munro in front.
Yeah, they are. And, if Mick makes a move on Maloney and doesn't get it done, he could be under pressure instantly by Stenberg behind him. And we know Kurt's a pretty good driver and knows how to make a pass. And out of these three cars, Kurt's car looks the most balanced and stable. So as lap 33, we've still got 10 to go. Maybe Kurt's going to have slightly better tyres just from sitting back and looking after him a bit.
Yeah, and up the front, the top two have dropped off Ian Ford, so he's the first to just back it up a little bit. He's 2 seconds off that lead. Up the front, though, Sammy Sutton, he's starting to have that elastic stretch we talked about before, 0.6 of a second down on Ethan Grigol. Ethan is an alien. He just does it week in, week out. Not yet, it's not. Still 10 laps to go.
We'll be sitting back here watching this battle, I think, while Ethan pulls away at the front. Oh, and here we go, Mick Cracknell.
Ooh.
Maloney's gone real wide now, 2x2. Mick's going to battle it easily. Oh,
yeah, well, Mick's got the high ground here.
There. See what Kurt does behind him.
Yeah, Kurt's not going to want to go too hard at his teammate here. Cracknell's got the high ground there, and Maloney's just lost that under brakes.
Yeah, looks like he got a big wiggle under brakes. And
I reckon as a result, Cracknell's got a little bit of damage there. They certainly made contact.
Yeah, I think it's just netcode. It seems to have cleared up on my screen. Oh, Stenberg.
Maloney certainly didn't make life too easy between the two Dayco cars here, and Maloney really struggling that lap.
Definitely. He might have made a bad adjustment on one of his roll bars or something like that.
It could be just a rhythm thing or a momentum thing, but I reckon Cracknell will clear out from these two now.
I think he will.
Interesting to see across the strike Munro with a 23.828, and that's about 3.1 seconds back to Cracknell. And with that 10 laps to go, I've got a feeling that Cracknell will make it a lot closer between now and then.
Yeah, I'll just check out the lap times. Cracknell's running, low 24s, high 23s when he's not in traffic. About the same, maybe a little bit quicker than Ross Munro, but maybe not quick enough to catch him. Marty Carroll's running even faster in front, so looking pretty good for Martin Carroll for a P4 position today.
Yeah, well, we're going to keep interviews short tonight. It's such a long race and a big week ahead of us. But no doubt Marty will be happy to talk about his moves and shakes tonight for sure.
Yeah, we might just change the password and we won't let him in tonight after that earlier move of letting Ethan in. Have to have a word to him about that one.
Yeah, we'll have to give him a cushion for that one. It was fairly soft, no doubt. Stenberg still chasing hard with Cracknell here. Like I said, it was 3.1 seconds across the stroke last time between Munro. That's now 3 seconds on the dot, so slight gain, 23.7 to a 23.9. So slight gains for Cracknell. He's going to need more than that. to be right on the tush of Monroe. And I think Matthew Ross Monroe, for his first up start, this is the car 19 of 20. So, he's, according to the iRacing stats, he's boxing well above his weight at the moment. We've seen what he can do in the lower splits, and that's why he's up in the higher splits. He's a guy who can dominate the lower split category, and is now in top 5 where he deserves to be in the top split.
Yeah, it's really, really solid run. He qualified P5 behind 4 really good V8 drivers, and he's held his own through some early laps and had a really good, solid drive. He should be happy with himself. Not many battles around at the moment, just looking through the field.
Well, we've got one right here. Jack Boyd, in fact, in position 11, has got Jason Quire about to make a move from position 12 as they go deep under brakes, and Jason's going to make that stick. Jack's been very, very placid
erratic
tonight. I would say placid. Yeah, I do. Yeah, he's more than giving for the Sammy Sutton and Ethan when they had he had the opportunity to stay in front of him. He was very forgiving and letting them through. And gee, I know it looked like he fought hard there, but I think he could have fought harder for that spot. But he's got some slight damage to the front right of his car from what I've seen, so he's probably a bit tired down there, and his tyres are looking absolutely ruined.
Well, every time we've had a look at him, he's been all over the place, like as far as rear grip goes. So yeah, I think he's been struggling. Maybe that damage has really affected him since the start. And did you say placid or flaccid?
Placid.
Right, I was going to say you probably know more about flaccid than I do. Moving on.
Here, Sammy. Well, what this has done though is Matty Stratford has continued to make gains here, up in the 13th place, 24 flat last lap. He's made a 1.3 second gain on Jack Boyd. So hopefully there's going to be another battle developing soon there.
Definitely, and Kurt might just be, is he catching Mick just a little bit? No.
Yeah, standing still there, Jake Maloney said, Jake's certainly a bit nervous in his car lot.
Yeah, but Jake's actually about half a second quicker that lap than Kurt Stenberg, so Jake might have just cooled his tyres off a little bit, taken a deep breath and gathered his thoughts, had a Coke and a smile and thought, alright, you want to race? Let's race.
See it. Uh-oh.
We got some anger.
Yeah, we have got some anger. Let's see what Mario has done this time.
Tell us what you really think, Greg.
Yep, let's see what he's done. And he has... Now, let's have a look at this, put this in perspective. Mario Vlasic is 17 laps behind. 17. Now, I know there's going to be people whinging and complaining that maybe we get into Mario, but you try and tell me right then that Mario's done the right thing.
Yeah,
like he's driven straight into the back of Greg Sharp. He's 17 laps behind, and he's cost Sharp a couple of positions. No wonder Sharpie's angry, and I tell you what, I know a lot of the V8 community are more than a little bit angry at the way Mario drives.
Yeah, well, I'm just going to leave that one right alone, mate. I think speaks for itself.
Get off the fence, mate. You're a commentator. And I'm the one who gets the PM saying, lay off Mario, lay off Mario. Well, let's see how many PMs I get this week, because what I want to say and what I have said is probably a little bit different.
Yeah, well, that's true. Sometimes you've got to bite your tongue a bit there, mate. But like you said, Mario's made a big mistake there, and Greg's definitely, and they don't think it was in the end of that. Mick Cracknell.
You go.
No, I was just going to say, Mick Cracknell, he hasn't really pulled away from Kurt Stenberg. If anything, Kurt's reeled him in a little bit here. And like you said earlier in the broadcast, I'm not sure the STC boys have had too much time to work on their setup, so maybe these Dayco car Dayco drivers have got a better long run setup. We've got about 5 laps to go here, and Kurt's definitely reeling Mick in a little bit.
Yeah, he has, but the kids are going absolutely rank in the background. But yeah, Kurt certainly hasn't let this go, and neither has Jake Maloney. I'll tell you another battle that's slowly developed, whether it gets to finally be one. Anthony Mansorella, we haven't spoken about Anthony at all in the Maverick Welding Ford Falcon, has got himself in the top 10, started 10th, stayed there in 10th, and give him a bit of airtime because another one has had some commitments during the week, hasn't had any seat time at all, so he's done a fantastic job there in the car 12.
Yeah, having a good run there, Anthony is. Started 10th, running 10th, nothing wrong with that.
And what this is great practice for the OSR Bathurst 1000 this week, where 161 laps of Bathurst, not going to hit any walls, or the cars, there's no free tow. So this is a type of race not just for people like Mansorella, but for other guys as well, that if they can keep their noses clean, that they don't have to, there's always going to be worries at Bathurst, but just that little bit of confidence going in that you keep this thing on the black stuff makes such a big difference.
Yeah, that's right. Just while you've been talking, Kurt's really got the back of Mick Cracknell here. So I think this is going to be the battle right here to watch in the last 3-4 laps.
Well, there's also another battle has slowly developed between Jamie Heaton and Matty Anderson, but yeah, I think you're right, this will be the battle that will end us home.
And Mick is just showing a little bit of this left side damage there, nothing major, but I think this would come down to, I'm not sure when Mick pitted compared to Kurt, but Kurt's definitely got the pace on him right now. 3/10 of a second gap as they cross the line there for lap 41.
Yeah, it's still on, and what this is going to do is going to give Matthew Ross Monroe ahead of them just that extra breathing room, so you bank Matty in for a top 5 and he'll be ecstatic about that, and so should the SDRT team. They run a great Enduro series every few Friday nights. The next one's at Alton Park, I think, not this week but next week after the Bathurst 1000. But yeah, the battle here with Cracknell and Kurt Sandberg still right on.
Yeah, and that kind of might give Jake Maloney a little sniff too. Just, I don't think he's going to have time to make anything done, but you can see he's definitely closing the gap as Mick and Kurt battle this out.
Yeah, well, there's 2 Dayco cars here, and they're both as hungry as the next one. There's a position in front of them, and if you're Jake Maloney or if you're the team manager at Dayco, you'd be saying to Stenny, get your nose in there, make something happen, try and make some changes, get him offline a little bit and get both the Dayco cars attacking. Yeah,
definitely, and we know Kurt's capable of doing that, and it just looks like Mick's really struggling here.
Yeah, he might have used all his petrol tickets to make the initial move, and his tyres might be struggling a little bit. Out in the front though, I tell you who's not struggling, we don't need to go to him, but Ethan Grigol has got himself just that 2-second gap, certainly comfortable there. Ian Ford 7 seconds back, and then 18 seconds. Oh,
Kurt, great save. That's going to put him under pressure from Maloney, his teammate, and as we saw earlier, those guys aren't going to give an inch to each other. They're going to race each other clean, of course, but they're not just going to be, they're not going to do a Marty Carroll, let's say.
Oh, well, you wouldn't think so. But like you said, Stenny does a lot of endurance racing and does some good miles in that HBD, and he'd be pretty ready to go for next week. Like I said, there's some guys who are really specialist endurance races, and I'm past Stenny as one of those, but in this race tonight, it's certainly not a sprint race. 44 laps, we're on lap 42 as we speak now, and just breaking over for lap 43 for our leaders. But he's the type of guy who seems to get stronger and stronger the longer the race.
Yeah, and it's like, I know everyone's sitting behind a computer, but with all the force feedback and the pressure that you put yourself under, doing these longer races, it takes it out of you. And we might just be seeing a little bit of fatigue creep in for some of the drivers, where other drivers are really showing their cards and showing their hands that they're really good at the longer distances. As we see Kurt make a bit of a mistake through the carousel, and that's really given Mick Cracknell some room to breathe here.
Yeah, it has, and you'd probably think that Mick's going to be away now. Trying to find the next battle. Geez, the kids are going rank. They got a PlayStation 4 for their birthday last week. They're playing FIFA 16 right now, and it's for all those
Can I
who
get
want
one
it.
for my birthday, mate?
It's a penalty shootout at the moment. They're going absolutely bonkers and they're going to bed.
What are
So
we going
it's
to get
been
the white flag next time by?
Yeah, it's been a long race. It's been a good race. And, the top three was certainly fantastic for the first number of laps. And Ford made that mistake and pretty much immediately over after Sutton made that mistake. Would have loved to have seen as Stenny just goes, Maloney goes a bit wide. And what's happened here? Stenny's backed off and let Maloney through.
Could
Or is Stenny running out of fuel?
I don't know. Is there any slowdown penalties in this?
Well, only when they do shortcuts.
Yeah, but nothing. That's strange. Oh well, we might have to ask them after the race what happened there. But Kurt Stenberg's definitely let Jake Maloney through after Jake nearly lost it. So
yeah, so last lap here we're with our leader, soon to be winner, Ethan Rickle. Yeah, seriously, what a patient race. I reckon this has probably been his finest drive. It's easy to say. He's had a lot of outstanding drives, but this is one where he was challenged and he had to be patient, was patient, and really just the presence of his car in the mirrors of the other two has caused the other two cars to make mistakes, and he's been very, very controlled.
yeah, he has, and he's had a lot of pressure on him this race. And Ethan, Sam Sutton, and Ian Ford they had a great battle going there for a while. And Ethan was. Like you can see he was under pressure. Yeah, and he's the winner. He crosses the line. He's done a great job.
Morning, Sammy. Mate, it's Ethan Creek got winner of round 2.
Is it 24-hour?
Yeah, at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. Congratulations to Ethan. Sammy Sutton, a really good drive by him tonight. Made that one mistake. May have cost him the win. And a long, long way back. Where is Ian Ford?
I don't know, but...
Did Ford even finish?
I saw someone in ERAK.
Yeah, no, he did.
But he's crossed the line.
Yeah, no, he crossed the line and he's parked it straight away. So, yep, mate, I'll leave it to you to get those results done.
Yeah, well, as we said, on the top we got Ethan Grigg Galt, second place Sammy Sutton, third Ian Ford, and then Martin Carroll, the old fella, P4. Matthew Ross Munro started 5th, finished 5th. Great drive by Matt Ross. Mick Cracknell's picked up 2 spots. Position 6. Then we got Jake Maloney, Kurt Stenberg, Josh Rogers, and Anthony Manzarella rounding out the top 10.
Yeah, long race, no doubt about that. And it's a few incidents in there. And like I said, I've said my piece about Mario, and I think there'll be a few more pieces said over the next few weeks. But a really good result there for the SCC Motorsports and the Dayco team, coming first and second, Greg Galt and Sam Sutton in Ford third, as you said. And looking forward to having a chat with Marty Carroll.
Are you? Well, you'll be like the only one around. No, I'm giving Marty a hard time at the moment, but it's good to see him up there having a good solid race. He's had a bit of troubles lately and getting involved in other people's wrecks and all sorts of stuff going on in his personal life. So, yeah, good race.
Yeah, really, really good race. I'll just let you handle this for a while, Sammy.
Oh, thanks, mate. I don't know, Hugo, have you got any little videos you want to throw up there while we wait for a few drivers to get in for an interview? Well, that's great. We'll throw to a little commercial break and we'll get some of the guys to talk to here in just a bit.
Maybe not. Welcome back to the after race show, round 2, mid-Ohio. We've had a long race, 44 laps here. So it is a long race, just over an hour. We've got the third place getter here, Ian Ford, from second on the grid. Mate, congratulations on third place in the race. I know you've been struggling with the amount of lap times in the seat this week with other commitments. But mate, third position, congratulations. Tell us a bit about your race.
Oh, the first part of the race was pretty easy. After that third corner, it was pretty easy at least. I went around the outside of Sammy Sutton and, I had no hopes of thinking that move was ever going to pull off. I just thought I was going to go spearing into the gravel trap or something. So once I got the lead, I just put my head down, punched in quali laps and tried to make a big gap. And after I was seeing Ethan pit and then Sammy pit in the lap after, I basically just started, questioning my own strategy. I was going to think about going a bit long, but I've seen how hard it is to get past cars around here, so obviously I just pitted in, followed suit. May have accidentally overshot my pit bay a little bit, so I went into fuel save mode after the pit stop, and we all know how that ended up. So, not too disappointed with third place. Would have certainly loved to stayed in the lead and tried fighting it out once I saved enough fuel, but them's the breaks. It's not really that much of a points difference between first and third tonight, so I'll put my head down and hopefully we pull out some magic for Bathurst, with big Bathurst week coming up for the team.
Yeah, well, Ian, it looked like a fantastic race you guys had up there for the top 3, and really unfortunate to see. What happened where you made the mistake and ran wide? Did you lock a brake?
No, I just got loose coming over that previous little flip-flop thing, and the rear end started breaking loose, so I braked a bit, tiny bit earlier just to settle the car down. So I could actually downshift it and get it over the crest of the hill, and just got a thump in the rear end and just shoved off into the weeds. So, nothing too nasty. I'll just wait for an apology, but that's pretty much about it. I'll get over it before we end this interview, so hopefully Bathurst is better.
Yeah, well, it was great to watch, mate, and we might just have a little chat here to Sammy Sutton. So really good job, 40, and good race. We'll see you next week. Good luck in the Bathurst 1000.
That's right, mate. Look, I was the one.
Thank you.
And we got Sammy Sutton here with us. How you going, Sam? How was that for you, mate? It was a great race to watch from our point of view.
Yeah, it kept the heart rate up, which was interesting. It was definitely nice to be up the front as well, fighting with the likes of Ethan and Ian.
Yeah, and I heard you had a really good race in the race before, so you're kind of our favourite to take that one out, mate. And looks like you had a pretty good long run setup, but once Ethan got out in front, it didn't look like there was much you could do there.
No, I actually, by mistake, underfilled the car by about a lap and a half. So when we were in that really close fight midway through that second stint, I was trying to attack Ian but defend from Ethan while fuel saving at the same time. So it got to the point once Ethan had got past me, I wasn't gaining, and so I would just save and make sure I get home because I saw Ian dropping off. Sorry.
Yeah, well, all the Daco guys seem to have a bit of pace at it. You wouldn't have seen it, but Kurt Stenberg and Jake Maloney and Mick Cracknell are also having a great battle back in the field. And yeah, it looked like they had the long run setup pretty dialed in there. So, no, really good job on your second place, mate. And anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, just a shout out to our major sponsor Daco, and of course our other secondary sponsors GTI and Nulex Constructions.
Yeah, good stuff, Sammy. Good to see you up there, mate, and look forward to seeing you again.
Yeah, I'll see you guys next week.
See you, buddy, and we're going to drag Ethan Griggolt into the box here, and congrats, Ethan, on a hard-fought win there, mate. They didn't make it easy on you tonight.
Yeah, no, they didn't, and that's exactly what I want. High-pressure situation's always fun.
Yeah, and we touched on it earlier in the broadcast that you had a pretty busy weekend with the 24-hour race going on and a few quiet beverages in between, mate. So, did you get much preparation before today's race?
No, I pretty much just only hopped on half an hour before the race started and tried to cut a few laps. Being used to the Corvette DP in Spa didn't really help too much, but yeah, I was quick there in the end.
Yeah, it was really good to watch up here. Three-way battle for the lead for quite a few laps there, and yeah, congratulations on another win, mate, and looking good for another championship. I know it's only early and a long way to go, but showing you got the pace again here this season. So big congrats to you, mate. And anyone you want to throw out a shout out to?
I'll just shout out to STC Motorsports for being an awesome team as they always have, and Hugo from RaceSpot and just iRacing for sponsoring the broadcast. Now, it's an awesome thing to have Monday night, and now that we're apparently on the ticker, it should bring in more views and the racing should get even better, so I'm looking forward to it. Yeah,
well, that's right. That'll be starting off next week, and we've got a pretty good giveaway going on at the Bathurst race this season, so it's going to be interesting. So good job on your win, mate, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Have a good one.
And we might just drag Kurt Stenberg and Jake Maloney and Mick Cracknell in. I'll just go to you first, Stenny. Great race back there for the lower positions, mate.
Yeah, it was a pretty awesome battle back there between us three.
Yeah, Crackers was the meat and the bacon sandwich there for quite a while. If you got us there, Mick, how was it from your point of view? Did you think you were getting held up a bit and you could pull away if you got past, or just battling hard to keep your position?
A little bit of both, to be honest. Like, we sort of all caught each other. I think Kurt had a bit more pace than me, and I had a bit more pace than Jake, and we all sort of squashed up together, and yeah, just made for a really good race. It was really entertaining.
Yeah, it was definitely entertaining from where we were sitting. And Mr. Maloney, what happened at the end there with you and Stenny? I see Stenberg let you go there at the end. Did you have a slowdown or anything, Kurt, or was that just some team tactics?
No, I went off the track and almost took him out, so I thought I'd just let him go, because, yeah, I probably shouldn't have rejoined the way I did, so I just thought it was the right thing to do. Being
Such
me,
a nice
my teammate,
teammate.
so yeah, that's it.
Well, it was a great race to watch, Jake. Looks like you had a lot of fun out there, mate, and good to see you guys running well here in the main SOF broadcast this week. Anyone you guys want to give a shout out to before we drag the old fella down for the one last interview?
Yeah, I'll give a shout out to the sponsors for Daco, which is Daco, New Lex Construction, GTI, and of course Custom Image Concepts.
All right, good stuff. Well, good to see you boys have a good race here, and it was really entertaining to watch, and we'll see you next week, hopefully.
Yeah, cheers, Sam. That was good.
Yeah, we might just have one chat here with one last bloke, Mr. Martin Carroll. How was that for you, buddy?
Not bad for an old fella, eh?
Not too shabby at all, mate. Probably one of your best finishes we've seen.
Yeah, well, traditionally, last season I was really struggling with the one lap pace in qualifying, so I was sort of, with limited practice time this week, there was just one thing I worked on, so, it was a little surprising qualifying P4, but I knew the three aliens in front were just going to check out on me, so I didn't, although I should have got in front of Ethan when I had a chance on the opening lap and let him push me, and then I might have had a chance for a podium, but no, outstanding race by those three up front, and yeah, good job by young Matt Ross Munro, putting the pressure on me early on until I got my rhythm, but good result for myself. Yeah, pretty happy.
I must admit, Marty, I was pretty disappointed that you let Ethan back in after that mistake. It's only round 2 of the season, and I know you're thinking of the big picture here, mate, but you got to have a go yourself.
I was trying to get on the power, but he was holding me tight. I had to give him room to come back on.
Sorry.
Sorry. Yeah.
Sorry, boy.
So, do you want to just run us through, Marty, real quick? The team's had really busy weekend. How'd you guys go in the Blancpain Endurance Series?
In the first race, we qualified 15th in third split and finished in 5th. Should have had 4th, but I ran out of fuel coming out of the last corner, and so lost out by 100th of a second with that. And unfortunately, in the second race, halfway through, we had an overzealous German take us out. But that was a little unfortunate. But big congratulations to everyone that competed in the ARC Bar 24 Hour over the weekend. I believe Daco won with the HPD, and congratulations to SSR on taking the Class B title. In the C7 Corvette, we finished second in that class, and well done to Ethan, Michael Cracknell, and Jason Dixon for the top effort. Just finishing a 24-hour race is an effort in itself. So it was a big effort by the guys, and a long weekend.
Yeah, that's right, it was, and another long weekend coming up with the Bathurst 1000. I know you're a previous King of the Mountain winner, and looking forward to that one, mate. Take that
definitely.
as a yes.
Yeah, but unfortunately, and you'll be in the same situation, Sam, is that it's the NRL Grand Final. Broncos versus Cowboys.
It is. Go the Cowboys.
And my partner, James McKnight, is also a big Broncos fan, and he's looking at flying down to Sydney for the final, so I might not have a partner for the race, so I could be watching it on the broadcast, sitting back having a few beers.
I might be available. All right, well, we're going to leave it at that. Brenton, you got anything else to say? Just before I let you go, Brenton, I want to thank our sponsors, iRacing.com. If you're not a member and you like what you're seeing, go over to www.iracing.com and check out some awesome deals. We do have a deal coming that's not quite available yet. I want to also thank the simpit.com, Sean Cole, big shout out to him. Anyone you want to thank, Brenton? Of course, RaceSpot, Hugo Louise, great director. Puts in a lot of hard work here, and I'll pass it over to you, Brenton, to finish it off.
Yeah, hopefully the Eagles will do the job on the weekend against the Hawthorn in a real football grand final. Forget Sunday, boys.
The aerial ping pong, is it?
That's just a state game, apparently, from what I understand. But
it's a national rugby league, mate.
Yeah, with 3 states involved. It's awesome.
All right, see you later, Brenton.
See you, mate.
All right, well, I guess I wasn't really going to wrap that up, but I guess that wraps up round 2 here at wherever we were, mate. Mid-Ohio race, sports car course. Great race. Ethan Griggolt, the winner, round 2, and we look forward to everyone joining us next week for race 3 at Alton Park. What do you think? I'm unprofessional, Brenton. Thanks, Hugo Louise. Thanks, Race Spot. Thanks to the viewers. See you next week.
See you, Sammy.